Hi, I'm Yajaira.
And I'm Gaby.
And our theme is Dominant Majoritarian Thinking. For the service site that I volunteer in Jackson Elementary School, I volunteer in a resource classroom, and I went in thinking with a very color conscious mentality, which is the awareness of all of the different racial identities that were there. And I thought that everybody in that classroom would be Hispanic or of Latino descent. And the more that I started going there and the more that I interacted with the kids, I realized that it really wasn't about just being Hispanic kids, like the preconceived judgment that I had. I started to gain more color awareness, and so what I describe it as is there was like a bridge that there was kind of formed. So I used to be in the really color consciousness group where I would notice that it was all Hispanics or all Latinos, and instead I started going more towards the color blindness where I see more of everybody like in the same eyes. And I think that really helped me realize that resource classrooms aren't just for Hispanics, because there's many other ethnicities there, like Asians, and there's also white students there that are there because they need help with other things, such as if they have emotional problems or they have problems with math. So it's not just for Hispanics. Another thing that I noticed while I was being there is that I had an idea of, and I thought that all of the kids there would be marginalized just because they were Hispanics, and that's what I grew up as. And so it was really about like thinking that they were all going to be on the outsides, and that they were going to have the double consciousness and the radical openness that we're all used to seeing. But instead I found that they were cultural stragglers, and so that means that they have found the balance between their culture and the other aspects of life, and so they maintain a really good balance, and they are able to use Hispanic jargon amongst themselves and also use the new vocabulary that they're learning, and so that's really important.
Hi, my name is Gaby, and I serve as a mentor at Bryant Middle. My theme is Dominant Majoritarian Thinking, and I will focus on the concept of deficit thinking. From a very young age, people instill in me the notion of deficit thinking, but through my service learning experience, I have come to see the disadvantages that students of color face, and I have come to acknowledge other factors that play into their academic failure. Deficit thinking blames the individual. It refers to the notion that students, particularly low-income minority students, fail in school because they and their families experience deficiencies that obstruct their learning. I was prompted to rethink the concept of deficit thinking by observing how the teacher expressed herself about her students. One day, as I conversed with the teacher, she commented that some of her students of color were not at grade level because they had been placed in remedial classes even though they didn't need them. The teacher believed that because these students had been profiled, they had been placed in these classes. After the students were taken out from those classes and were placed in regular classes, she began to see an improvement in their academics. She believed that if these students were provided with the appropriate resources, they would be able to succeed academically and further their education. The teacher helped me learn to challenge deficit thinking by helping me acknowledge that the students were not succeeding academically because of the education inequality they received.